Hey guys, it's Steve. Welcome back to another Grill Dome recipe video. So I just picked up the new Cook's Illustrated Meat Book. This thing has 425 recipes. Amazing book. Definitely grab a copy of this. And to get things started off, I wanted to try out the Baltimore pit beef sandwiches recipe. And that's gonna have a tiger sauce that we'll top them with. This is gonna be good. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what I've got here is a 15-pound top sirloin roast. So though this recipe calls for a 4 to 5 pound roast, this is actually the smallest roast that my local grocery store has. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a knife. I've already trimmed off a decent amount of the fat cap. There was some decent fat cap actually on both sides, and so I kind of trimmed a lot of that up. And I'm just gonna take this boning knife that I use to trim some of the fat cap, and I'm gonna cut about a 4 to 5 pound section of this off, and the rest of it I'm gonna vac seal and freeze to use later. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it. It's really not a big deal here with regards to how big this section is. So I'm just gonna go straight down like this with this knife. All right, and there we go. So we've got a nice little, probably about a 4 to 5 pound section right here that we're gonna work with for this. Okay, so for our rub ingredients, I'll have them up on the screen here. It's pretty straightforward. You probably have all this in your pantry. We're just gonna do some crushed black pepper, some kosher salt, some oregano, some paprika, some cayenne, and some garlic powder. And we're just gonna give this a little stir real quick. All right, now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add a little olive oil, just kinda to act as a binder for our rub here. You don't need to go too crazy with this, but we wanna get all sides. And then we're gonna take our homemade rub here. And the key with this recipe is you just wanna kinda give this a nice little light coating with the rub, because you really want the flavor of the beef to come through on this recipe. That's why you're not hitting it with a ton of rub, and you want to get all 4 sides. All right, and there we go. So we have a great looking top sirloin roast. And what I'm going to do, there's several ways to keep this in the fridge. We want to keep this in the fridge overnight. You can wrap it in saran wrap. You could put it in Tupperware. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna vacuum seal it and then stick it in the fridge. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and we will pick back up tomorrow. All right guys, here is our top sirloin roast. I vacuum sealed it last night like I was talking about, and it's been 15 hours, so the flavor of the rub is gonna be nice and drawn into the meat. I'm gonna go ahead and take this out of the vac bag here, and I'm gonna let it sit out and try to get up to about room temp while I go outside and get the grill dome fired up. Okay guys, so let me go ahead and show you how we're gonna have the dome set up for this cook. We're gonna be doing an indirect to direct cook. So we've got our fire going, so we're just gonna put on the main cooking grate. And then we're gonna use the grill dome half moon rack, and then underneath that, the half ceramic stone. And this is gonna be our indirect side. Okay, and then for our direct side, these are the searing grates that you can get in our e-shop. I'll have a link in the description. So again, we've got an indirect side over here, and then with the searing grates over the direct heat side, we're gonna cook this roast over on an indirect side, get it up to an internal temp of about 100 degrees. Then we'll crank the temperature of the grill dome up, get these searing grates just nice and scorching hot, and give it a nice sear over here on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and get the lid shut and get the dome preheated to about 250. All right guys, we have the dome preheated to about 250 degrees. We're gonna go ahead and take our sirloin roast and put it right over the half ceramic stone, so we're over an indirect heat. And I'm just gonna take a food probe, and I wanna get right in just the thick part of this meat. And we're gonna be watching this to hit right around 100 degrees on the internal, and we'll pick back up then. Okay, so this tiger sauce is a sauce that is famous on these Baltimore pit beef sandwiches. And all it is really 4 main ingredients. We have horseradish, mayo, some minced garlic, a little bit of lemon juice, and we're just gonna mix that all up, and then we'll add a little salt and pepper to taste. All right guys, it has been right at 1 hour and 15 minutes. And my wireless food probe here is reading right at 100 degrees. So we're gonna go ahead and open the lid and take a look. Oh my gosh, that looks gorgeous. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and pull this food probe out over here, and then I'm gonna take our roast and we're just gonna set it on a plate. And we're gonna set it inside. You don't wanna put it in foil because you want it to stop cooking at this point. So we're just gonna set it inside. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna open up the bottom and top vents on the dome and get the dome cranked up to around 450, 500 degrees for a good grilling temp. And then we're gonna sear on the other side. So we'll pick back up in just a few minutes. All right guys, we have the dome cranked up to about close to 500 degrees. So I'm just gonna put the roast right on the searing rack there. I'm gonna shut the lid, and I've got my Thermopin here, and I'm gonna be monitoring this really closely. I'm gonna let this go about a minute or two, check it out, and then flip it, and we'll be back. All right guys, I went ahead and flipped this once. It's been about 6 minutes. You can see these awesome sear marks from the sear grates. And check the temp out. Right around 108. Let me check down here. This end is actually right around 119. But down here, let me check this other side real quick. Yeah, about 110. I'm gonna give this just probably about 3-4 more minutes because I'm shooting for about 120 on the internal, 120 to 125. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it, and we'll pick back up in the kitchen. All right, so I've let our roast rest about 10 minutes, and all you really wanna do is take a nice sharp knife. This is a carving knife, and just cut really thin slices, just like this. And let me show you this right here. Look how amazing that looks. So I'm gonna go ahead and just trim up a few more slices, and we're gonna build a sandwich out. All right, so we have a nice Kaiser roll here, and what I'm gonna do is per the recipe, they recommend for true Baltimore style to put down a couple slices of onion, and then we're just gonna take some of our amazing looking sliced top sirloin here, just kind of stack us out a great looking Sammy here. And then we're gonna take some of our tiger sauce and then just kind of lightly drizzle that on the top. Oh my gosh, look at that. Go ahead and put our top bun on, check that out. Let's go ahead and give this a little try. Oh my gosh, that is so good. That beef just cooked on the grill dome is so tender, just mouth watering, buttery smooth. And the way that goes with that tiger sauce, that is just an amazing sandwich. This is gonna be a great recipe to serve up for your next holiday party. And it's gonna be really good for leftovers too. So check this recipe out. Check out the Cook's Illustrated Meat Book out. Again, I'll have a link in the description. And subscribe to us on YouTube if you like this video. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you again soon.